ended up.
Welcome to the Power Chamber Podcast.
The only PCP that's vegetarian. No, we're not.
Are we vegetarian? I was about to say, like,
I
think you've
don't
used that
know
one
why.
before. Thought you were going to say we were cosmopolitan.
Okay. See, I was thinking about something space-worthy, but I couldn't pull it.
No.
This is the problem with just coming up with something off the cuff.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work, but
Yeah.
Either way,
I'm
we're
funny
still here.
sometimes.
We're still good,
Yeah, we're still good. And we're here to talk about Cosmic Fury. So far,
Yeah.
final season of Power Rangers.
Right, it'll be the final season until the Disney show shows up, and we'll see what happens. Unless you're one of those crazy people that thinks that reignition is a new thing.
I mean, wait, is the reignition the one with the like PSAs or the terrible narrations at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Mighty Morphin Minute.
Yeah, that one. Where they don't actually know what they're talking about.
Yeah. I'd be very curious, like how much or how far they can get that thing going, because it's like 60 episodes of stuff. But I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, so we're here to talk about Cosmic Fury, which over the last couple of days, you and I have both sat down and watched.
Yeah,
to kind of give us a refresher.
It's much easier than trying to get through Dino Fury. Not
that is true.
Not only because it's like less than half of those seasons, but also it's much better.
Yeah, that's true. It is a much better. It is markedly better of an experience than Dino Fury was, where it's just kind of like after most episodes you have to kind of sit and reset, you know.
Yeah. You just gotta like.
Yeah.
Nothing. I wouldn't say like. It's not without its criticisms, right? But like, it's still infinitely better than anything that happened in Dino Fury.
I would say so. I think that the direction that they go with a lot of the characters does help in making sure that their performance come off stronger than they were previously, which, does serve to give credibility to a lot of stuff that happens.
Yeah, for the most part, everybody kind of gets better. The only one that really doesn't is Zato, and we'll get into that in just a little bit. But man, I remember saying last week how the nostalgia and legacy factors of Dino Fury don't work because it's not written for the audience that would appreciate those. Cosmic Fury is.
Yeah, I would say that.
It's much more. It's much more in the vein of things like Lost Galaxy, RPM. That older fans would appreciate it. It's more intense. And what you were saying, it's the difference between being on television and being on streaming. The switch to Netflix is incredibly prominent in this season. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, the changes that they made, realizing that they don't have to like adhere to ratings and certain things that were handcuffing them for a long time. Change in that is evident when you make the jump to streaming.
Yes, absolutely.
Like especially because that first episode is so like densely packed. But like to your point of there being the show being kind of made for fans, like one of the two like big characters that you see in the beginning are Lord Zed and Billy.
Yeah.
So like they make a big deal out of like it's going to be these two legacy characters, not so much in focus of their rivalry, but at least that they're going to be huge parts of this season.
Yeah, and I mean, Zed is in every episode. Billy isn't, but I mean that's fine.
Yeah,
he kind of takes on the mentor role for this show.
Yeah, Absolutely does. I would
in
say
the
so.
same way, that like RJ does, because he's still active duty, but he still helps. You know what I mean? He still provides that leadership and mentor quality to the show.
Well, I mean, so one of the first things that happened, and I don't know if this is like him being aware of the dynamics of the characters because like they're new, but like there's two big things that happen. Well, there's a lot of stuff that happens in this first episode. These episodes are densely packed with
They
just a
are.
bunch of stuff that we would have taken an episode to like do each of them individually.
Yeah.
We get all of them here, but there's the two big things that Billy sees happen are one, the Dino Fury Blue Ranger gets turned evil by Lord Zed, and
Yep.
two, uh, evil Ollie sends Red Ranger Zato into another dimension or into a far off distant planet. So like they're down two members. He can kind of see that, and so he has to kind of take that leadership role and also provide Blue Ranger support, which I'm sure he's very familiar with.
Yeah. I actually have a question about that. Because they spend a lot of time looking for Zato after he goes through the portal.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't Ollie know where he ended up, being the guy that made the portal, or is it just like they randomly open up in space somewhere? Because if that's the case, then
I think I
no.
think the idea was that Ollie was just going to send him into space to die, and he ended up crashing on a planet at random.
No, but that's what I mean. Like, if Ollie opened the portal, shouldn't he know where it is, where it opened up? You know,
No,
just a general idea.
not necessarily. He would have just known that it was in space.
What?
I'll
Hey,
send you out into the vacuum of space. I agree that it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and I'm reaching with that explanation, but I think that's what the idea is supposed to be. Because like, there's a lot of stuff that they bring up that doesn't make any sense. That we're just kind of supposed to forget about. So I mean, that could be one of those like finer details that they just didn't
well, this
think about.
show's written like we talked about how Power Rangers is often a live action anime. This season really relishes in that concept because it does go from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next immediately.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean that's how streaming goes, and that's really how Ninjago has done that for the past like 15 years. So, or at least the past 15. I was right the first time. So like
when we use the portal key in Dino Fury, they have a very specific idea of where it opens up. Like that's how they find Rafcon in the first place. So, or rather, how they get to Rafcon after they find it.
yeah. No, I agree. Like they very clearly were because like I think they were sending monsters into just deep space before Ollie turned evil, right? That was the thing that was happening.
You know, I'm not actually sure.
But I agree, it is a bit of like for as smart as Ollie is, it's interesting that he doesn't know where he sent Zato.
Yeah.
And he needs the transmission from Mick later in order to tell him where to even look for
Yeah.
Dino Fury Red, I guess.
That's the other thing. We explore so much of this universe in this show. Like we start off on Zordnia. We do first of all, there's this kick-ass opening sequence with the tracking shot over this huge battle with the Rangers and the Morphin Masters. Hey, y'all, what up, Black Knight? Thanks for joining us. We're talking about Cosmic Fury.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in.
It's so much to take in, especially that first episode. Like we established that this is immediately after what happened at the end of Dino Fury. This is immediately what happens next.
Yeah, because that's what Amelia tells Mick when she sees him.
Yeah,
is that like this is immediate because the end of that show is they're going off into deep space to stop Lord Zed because he's returned after 6 months.
Yeah,
we're just get dumped a bunch of exposition in the first like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like as far as Bajilia being the evil bad guy that freed Lord Zed. And
oh, cool! It's been a hot minute since I've seen it. Man, watch it again. It's awesome.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, I would say that this one doesn't have as many problems as Dino Fury does, like on rewatch. Part of the reason for that is because the season is so densely packed, and they have a direction that they want to go.
Right.
So not a lot of stuff falls through the cracks.
They have a very clear idea of what story they're trying to tell,
and this was, if I remember correctly, just based on like how this show is presented, this was the lead in before we got to the Once and Always 30-year anniversary.
Oh yeah, yeah, because that's what happens at the end of the show. But we'll get into that as it happens. But yeah, that first opening scene, Vigilia tells Zed that they found him while mining, because she's not like a villain per se.
She's a business person, which is the same thing.
Right, that's how they treat it. Even Ollie's like, nice. That's not CEO behavior.
yeah. It's a lot, because they did take the note from Star Wars, The Last Jedi, where they talk about like how arms dealing is a big lucrative thing. And so that's kind of what Bajilia's whole deal is. She wants to plunge the universe into war so she can profit off of
a business person. Yeah.
Yeah. So she can profit off of selling weapons, basically.
No,
I don't know how that works with later, but I mean we'll get there for sure. But yeah, basically she found Lord Zed on this Zord planet that they were going to mine and get a bunch of like weapons out of, and so they just decided to release him,
which is so stupid. Like the Morphin Masters are dumb, dude.
Yes, I agree. Like the idea of let's send, like, it's not even like, I would understand if it was like a barren planet.
Yeah.
Or like Ravcon if it was still there because nobody is on Ravcon.
Right.
But like, to put Lord Zed, the like most strongest villain of the universe as they've established, on a planet with a bunch of Zords on it, seems like it's a really bad idea. The guy who like rode Serpentera and was really keen on destroying planets with a Zord, you're gonna put him on a planet with other Zords,
right? Unguarded. That's the thing. Like I thought he was in the grid. I thought they were like keeping him on a shelf somewhere, but no, they just leave him in a hole somewhere.
I think the grid, like, I don't know if you can leave people in the grid because it's just a consciousness kind of thing. Like it's pure like energy kind of situation. Again, it's difficult because
y'all have a favorite member of the Cosmic Fury team. Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
I think it's both. I think it's the same for both of us, and we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. Tell us your favorite Cosmic Fury.
Yes, tell us your favorite Cosmic Fury Ranger. Yeah. I guess we'll get there if people comment, but I lost what I was saying. But yeah, I think that
because they encased Zed in this crystal that the Morphin Masters made specifically, it wouldn't necessarily be like, oh, Zed is in the grid, they can't take people, but like he's captured. He's an object now. He's not like a person. Does that make sense?
I think you have to have a certain kind of energy in order to get into the grid, you know? Well, because like when Zato goes into there later with Ion, like Ion's body doesn't go with him. And so I think you have to, like, again, the thing that makes it complicated is that is that Alpha went into the grid during Once a Ranger.
Izzy, Javi, and Amelia. Oh. I'm guessing that's in order.
Interesting choices.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get a lot more to do this season.
Oh, for sure. Especially Javi, like that first episode. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was something I never thought I'd see, honestly.
For real. And it's intense. It's brutal, man.
But yeah, so after Lord Zed goes off, he fights the team, and then he decides that he's going to mind control Ollie and turn him evil.
Yeah. Well, first they capture the Morphin Masters. They're all great, to be honest.
Yes. Yes, they
Everybody does way better in this show than they did in Dino Fury. But like I was saying,
yes, that is true.
the Morphin Masters took Zed into the grid at the end of that terrible, terrible two-parter.
That's true. I mean, I guess it's more complicated because we don't know where those guys come from.
Yeah, there is that.
So if they're just going to put him on this random planet, like unless he made it the core, like how they did in the movie with the Zeo crystal.
And I appreciate the lack of Morphin Masters in this show because they
It
are
does.
so flawed.
It does up the stakes because they were used as kind of like a Deus Ex Machina thing. Like
Yeah.
if there was any kind of trouble, they just bail, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Or they'll bail the Dino Fury Rangers out of a pinch, which does kind of happen with how we use Zato, but it's a different sort of thing, you know,
Right.
because they add like this ticking clock element, and they add a lot of they add a negative aspect to that means that he can't just bail them out all the time, you know.
Right.
It's very much the thing like in the terrible two-parter from Dino Fury, where like in the middle of the fight with the Green Morphin Master, Lord Zed says that her power weakens. Like that was not established beforehand, and it's just kind of like a throwaway weird line, just to justify Ion coming in there and slashing him with the sword. Like none of those other guys could do that, but whatever. I'm not here to argue about that episode. Anyway,
that's such a heel move in the first place. Like that's not hero behavior as far as I'm concerned.
I agree with you, but again, we're not here to talk about that.
We're not here to talk about that. So the Morphin Masters get
yeah,
captured. Red throws his staff at Javi for some reason.
I think because he was just close by. Like I don't think it was for any kind of reason other than, here you go, random ranger.
Right. Like, yeah. It's not like a fate and destiny thing. Like this is just
right. I'm sure they'd spin it that way when they get out of there. But yeah, not at the
getting rid
time
of
of the show.
Masters was such a great move because it sets the grid back to like the Force. It's a thing that like kind of becomes the universe. And this show is very Star Wars, my God. But after
it's a lot of things.
After that opening battle,
we'll get there.
Zato gets launched into space.
Yeah,
and all turns evil. They go to the altar on Zordnia, and Javi activates the altar to summon the new Cosmic Fury Zords and blows his arm off.
For
anyone who hasn't seen Cosmic Fury, that was crazy. That was
blows his arm clean off. Like that's insane.
You know who
we've seen Rangers die, but we've never seen that kind of like bodily harm to anybody.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I had Adventure Time flashbacks, but yeah.
Yes, that is very much what they were doing.
It was very,
and also in game, but neither here nor there.
Oh yeah. Well, see, and you know who takes it the hardest? Izzy. She is
as she should,
but like she conveys so much emotion the whole show in just a look, right? Like, sorry, hold on.
Oh,
weird. All right. Sorry, my computer did something funny.
Okay.
The moment that Javi loses his arm, like they don't really have time to deal with it, but like immediately after, when they go back to the ship or go back to the base, I should say, and they have to he's all unconscious and they've already captured evil Ollie, which is insane. Like they get through so much stuff in this first episode.
Yeah, no, we do a lot, including like bringing Billy back and bringing Mick back and making sure that Mick has his I guess what would you call it? Ninja Steel, red, silver red, silver slash suit. I mean, it doesn't matter, but I mean, I just like wanted to. By the way, I mean, I'll bring it up later. Never mind. If I remember, we'll bring it up later. But yeah,
the Ninja Nexus star was one thing initially, so I think that was the like original idea. Like Dane was that the Ninja Steel Ranger. Does that make sense?
yes, that is true.
So I think that's where Mick's powers originally derived, or at least in this show, that's where the Morphin Masters get his powers from, or give him his powers from.
Right.
Which we don't.
Well, I
actually
mean, as we've established, like Ranger powers can come from different sources, and you can still look the same. So.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, evident in just the fact that Billy is on the team at all.
Yeah.
Man, that first episode was absolutely insane. The second episode,
it is chaotic, and just the way how much stuff happens, and I do mean that like in a good way. There's so much going on that it's kind of hard to focus, but it does help in like establishing where the Rangers are and how much they're on like the offensive or the defensive, trying to prevent like anything worse from happening.
I absolutely disagree. I don't think it's too much. I think that going from Dino Fury is where you're having the difficulty keeping up, because we only focus on one thing at a time, like you were saying in Dino Fury. But Cosmic Fury, they wrote a story for real this time.
I mean, like for like whenever Power Rangers uses Sentai footage from like 2 different episodes, the max is 2. Like we don't go usually with 3 or 4. This is like 3 or 4 or 5 things happening all at once.
Yeah, at the same time. But yeah, also we have
to the point where like I questioned at the beginning, like if this was the start of like halfway through the season and we just didn't get to see the first half, until Amelia told Mick that like, oh no, we just came from Earth and this is what we're doing. So,
well, like you said, there's a 6-month gap between the battle with the Nemesis Beast and Zato coming back that are just unaccounted for. Like we get a couple of things that the Rangers have done. The Rathconians, taking refuge in Area 62. The Izzy graduating from high school, going off to college, and Javi.
Yeah, that was stuff that was at the end of Dino Fury. Like that's how they ended that show. None of that really is here, but that's because like we've got bigger things to worry about. The biggest thing is Ion telling Zato that he opened up a cafe in Pine Ridge, which we saw at the end, and it doesn't really even matter, to be honest.
I mean, it matters in this show for sure, because like what we were saying last week, how Ion being the guy who eats and like is the slacker one doesn't make sense for his character. They actually give him a role in this show. Like he's the cook for the team while they're in space on this planet, nowhere.
And they established that like it's a way for him to de-stress after Zato was kicked like into another long off or into the far off space that they don't know where he is. And that's great because it does like establish their friendship really hard, and like how desperate he is to kind of make sure that everything's okay. And that really does help because he just doesn't talk about dumb stuff like as much as he did in the first season, or I guess season and a half. Like when he became the comedy character, he's still kind of that way. He's still got some of those tendencies, but it's very clear that like he's not joking around as much as he was before, which does help his credibility as a character a lot.
He's got a very clear motivation in this one.
Yeah, and I do think giving a lot of people like very clear motivations, like with Evil Ollie and the whole thing that happens with him, and giving Amelia kind of like her being thrust into this leadership role, it's a lot better handled than it was at the beginning of Dino Fury season 2, where she's suddenly in charge of Buzz Blast. Like they really do put her in this spot because like There's really nobody else that can handle it. I mean, I suppose you could say that Ion probably is the next in line, but like he clearly doesn't want it, and he's way too hyper focused on like finding Zato and make sure that he's safe. And then you have like Javi just lost an arm. Ollie was mind controlled to be evil. Izzy is still the youngest member on the team, so like you have to go to Amelia at that point.
No, you don't. Billy is there. It doesn't make
any
sense.
That's fair. Actually,
it doesn't make any sense totally for her when they form the Megazord for the first time. It makes no sense for her to be like, "I'll take the center red one." Why? Billy's right there. He's the one who figures out how to operate the Zords properly first. And he ends up taking control of the Megazord anyway when she leaves to go teleport with Ollie. So
that's a good point. That's a good point.
I don't understand.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, but way to.
I don't when she does finally get the red suit. Our second is it only the second female Red Ranger after Lauren?
It's the third because there was the A Squad Red Ranger.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
All right. So from being the third one, like I get.
And I mean, if you wanted to count Delphine, you could. She's not a Red Ranger, but she is the leader.
And that's why I didn't bring up Jen either. But that's besides the point.
That's fair. That's fair.
Our third canonical actual Red Ranger that's a girl, like it. I don't know when she actually finally does get the red suit. I think it's in episode 4, and the team is like, "You help me learn how to do math or whatever."
They do kind of like go through this, like, you helped us a lot, you know how to help people, even though I think at that point she had one conversation with Ion about him dealing with the stress, and even then she said that it was a bad idea because like he just hyper focused on the cooking and it like was just doing that for like a long period, like to an unhealthy degree.
Well, also she's like, I need your help too, so it's not like she's leading him. She's not teaching him anything. She's just trying to help him out of this funk, and part of doing that is just having him focus on something else.
Well, I think that like and again, this is just the failing of Dino Fury, but like bringing up the fact that like she was also by herself for like a good majority of her life and how she dealt with that, like to bring up that kind of trauma and kind of tie it into that, I think would have helped a lot. But the whole thing, well, because like she's looking for her parents and whatnot.
But she wasn't. And like you said last week, Pop was there. It's not like she was living in the woods and went to the country music singing academy for boys after her dad was killed by a Galvanax.
I know. I'm just saying that like it's something that she could have brought up, like as like I know how you feel. Like I know what it's like to be like to wanting so desperately to find somebody, you know?
Yeah.
Even though it's not a big, like, again, the show just doesn't treat that like with any kind of importance.
It's super
bizarre. Neither show does really. Yeah.
The most we get of it is that one scene with Billy talking about your dad was evil too.
Yeah, like, that's a good point.
She's like, and my mom, it was a whole thing. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. I don't think she's in this season, is she?
Say what?
Centaura? She's not in this season.
Yeah. They constantly bring her up, but she's never actually seen. And I don't think we actually get to see the baby either. At the end
because they get that picture sent to her at the end, but that's it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't actually see her like on camera, so like she's not.
Yeah, she's not
like
there.
A character. Yeah.
It's weird. But I mean, Tarek gets enough to do in the show to carry that by himself, and I'm totally down with that. Absolutely.
Agreed. Yeah. Like him being like the Ravkonian resistance and things like that. Yeah, I think it worked out pretty well.
That's what I was going to say. After Zed takes over the Earth and the Ravkonians form this resistance and try to, help the other Ranger teams that are on Earth, and they kind of generalize and say that all Ranger teams have been captured or destroyed in the context of the show.
Well, no, they don't say destroyed. They say that they've been captured. because they can't. Because the thing with they have all these squid drills, and they have like a thing that prevents the Rangers from from any Ranger team from calling their Zords.
Okay.
And so they just kind of like cause mass destruction and are able to capture the Rangers. We see clearly later that that's not the case with like who shows up, and I'll talk about that. But yeah, just a lot of stuff happens in that first episode, and even the second episode, like when you got to deal with trying to break the spell on Evil Ollie, and how that whole thing ultimately fails. They end up. Is that the no? What happens is that while they're trying, because the idea is that they're going to try and sever Ollie's link to the Morphin Grid or cleanse it, so that because his Ranger energy has been corrupted by Lord Zed, that's why they're not able to bring him back from being evil. So like they're gonna. So they're going to try and cleanse his link to the grid, and if they can't cleanse it, then they're going to have to destroy the Triceratops statue at Dinohenge. What ends up happening is that Lord Zed comes down.
The plan.
Huh?
That wasn't
is that not the backup plan?
No, the backup plan was not to destroy the statue. That was Zed's plan. He came it down to destroy the statues, and the only reason the Triceratops statue survives is because Ollie's like, "Let me keep my power so I can help you."
Yeah, no, I know. But like, isn't that what they said? That like, if it doesn't work, then they're going to have to destroy it.
No.
Okay.
No.
I probably just read into that too hard.
A little bit, but like, because their first plan is to use the antidote that they had from the first time he turned evil in episode 13 of Dino Fury season 2. I can't remember the name of the episode. It's the Valentine's Day episode, which is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But they try the antidote, it doesn't work. They try to cleanse his Ranger energy, that doesn't work. And then that at the end of the show, they decide to blow up the Triceratops statue to sever his powers from the grid. But that doesn't happen until way later.
Yeah. No, because that is their only option at that point, right?
Exactly.
When Zed comes down, destroys all of the statues, takes their powers are gone, and then he takes the Triceratops statue because Ollie asks him to, and so he has that statue with him all the time, or at least it's on the ship,
I really wish.
And then the Rangers, yeah.
I really wish Evil Ollie had a better evil suit, because I like it. I don't think it's bad. It's just really simplistic, especially like the design on the helmet. Like it just looks the same.
I mean, I guess
I would have wanted something like
I like this. Well, I mean that is just the same, but it's a different color. Like, would you just have it be like more of like a darker blue?
Well, I mean, I would have given him more of like a crown on the helmet design. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no one else is wearing a crown.
Zed has a crown. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. No one else wears a crown. Lord Zed gets to wear the crown.
That's the thing. Like, Zed takes Ollie to be his apprentice, essentially.
Yes, that is what happens.
The new Sith Lord.
Yes, that is exactly what happens, and I cannot
wild.
Like the idea of like taking a Ranger from the team and turning him into a general, and for like a long, consistent period of time, because this goes on for like most of the show.
Yeah,
I want to say until like episode 7. Like it's for a good chunk of time that's how things go. But it's such a really good idea, and I do like that it does provide us with like insight into how Lord Zed, his philosophy on being evil, which we'll talk about that later too.
Which definitely changed. Let's go ahead and get into it, because his whole thing is like, you can only trust yourself. You shouldn't be working as part of a team, because that's what the Rangers do, and that never works out. Like, staying at the top means having to be alone, and And
survival is the most important.
Yeah, and that is a very true sentiment. You know, it's lonely at the top, is what they say. So like,
right, yeah,
it 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 really creates this great dynamic between Ollie and Zed throughout the entire show.
yes, it does.
It's
It
very
does. I wish I wish they would have gone further with it, but I realized that like we're on a time crunch. There's not a whole lot of time that we have to like fully explore that, and we kind of did something similar at the end of Ninja Steel anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, I mean it's okay. That I think
I do think it's handled a lot better here, and it does help Ollie's actor with finally becoming more confident in the role. Like,
yeah,
because this show is better, or at least Dino Fury in general was better at writing the villains anyway. And so
yep.
when Ollie gets a chance to actually do that, he really gets stuff to sink his teeth into.
I mean we could say the exact same thing for the Rangers. Absolutely.
That's true. That's true. They
Yes.
are definitely much more better written here
Yeah,
than
they're
they were
dimensional.
previously.
They're not just paper dolls in this one. They're 3-dimensional characters that
Yeah,
I would
because the other
say
thing, yeah, okay,
everybody
go.
gets at least a little bit better, except
Mm-hmm.
Zato.
Yeah, I agree with that actually.
Up until we do end up in the grid where it's supposed to be Zordon and Zato's body, that
Yeah,
where what you were saying, his automaton acting ability is it fits that character way
yeah, because
better.
he's not supposed to like be showing any emotion, and that guy can't emote at all. So like
He can't even
putting him in
fall.
a situation where he is basically like an AI talking to Ion in the grid, like yeah, that absolutely makes more that plays more to his speed as an actor than really anything else does.
Absolutely, that dude can't even fall. I don't understand, but
Yeah,
uh, even Amelia gets better. I won't say that it's much better, but it is better. The
yeah.
one that I think
There are moments like where she's talking with either it's Billy or it's Ion or it's just having the one-on-ones with the team. Like I really like those scenes. I do think that there could have been more done with her and Ollie in terms of like their like really just kind of fleshing their relationship out. Like maybe he has again. God, why couldn't we do this properly? Because we didn't do this well in Beast Morphers either. Like because they set this whole thing up with like she's evil and she was your girlfriend and how do you feel about that? And then we get to the end and it's fine. He
the
murdered somebody in cold blood, but we're cool. She was a
yeah,
bad guy, so don't worry about it.
they have again their dynamic is just not great because what you said
Yes, I agree.
they don't really know what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I do think that like one of the reasons that Ollie is much stronger in the villain role, and like even when he comes back, like he's got a certain level of confidence as an actor to be able to play the character now that he didn't have before. And I think a reason for that is because most of the time in Dino Fury, like his scene partner was Amelia,
Right.
and she was not really giving, or I don't know if it's like a bad direction or if like he just wasn't able to really play off of her in the same way that he's able to play off of the guys that are in suits that he can't even really hear talk. It's all ADR. So I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I would probably consider it at least a little bit of both because famously Nickelodeon was
Admittedly, I did want to ask you this question because this comes up a lot. Um, is that guy the actor for Ollie? Is he like a big Power Rangers fan? Because you get into this season and he like geeks out over being able to fight alongside Billy Cranston, and he geeks out over like having to, or when he sees like the other Megazords come in to help like near the end of the show. So like I'd be curious if he was just like a big MMPR guy, and that's also the reason that the evil version of Ollie works so well.
I mean, those are two different questions. Him because you're talking about the character of Ollie being happy about working with Billy and seeing them
Well,
do
I just think
versus
like I just
being the
wonder
guy who
if it's from the actor, because sometimes they'll do that. They'll like say that this is a part of your personality, so we wrote this into the script. It's a tougher sell because it was 2 seasons of basically nothing.
Right, but I mean, and that's the confusing part for me is we already did the evil Ollie thing in episode 13, the Valentine's Day episode. I don't know why they decided to do it again, but like the fact that it is such a huge part of this story, I can forgive it.
Well, it's a Lord Zed special. Like that was the reason that I accepted it.
I mean, yeah, he
like
has an affinity.
Of course, Lord Zed is going to turn the Blue Ranger evil. He's done it before. He'll do it again. Maybe.
Yeah, once he gets off of Nibiru, he'll do it again.
Yeah.
Ah, man, but I think the person who gets the best like turnaround, the one who gets better between Dino Fury and Cosmic Fury is Ion, for sure.
Yeah.
Because he does have motivation. Because he is able to give it his all in these moments of like, my best friend came back to life and then died immediately. What the hell?
Yeah. It really does make me wonder, like, had they kept him more of the like, you're not the leader because you let us all down. Like if they'd have kept that as a core aspect of his character, like he would have been a lot stronger. But they like clearly were like, oh, he want to be a hero anyway, and he's just going to be having fun eating things on Earth.
That's actually a really cool idea. That would have been awesome if he had like gotten back to, all right, now I'm ready to be the leader because I've been doing this a little while now. I understand what it takes to be a leader, but everybody doesn't take him seriously. That could have been a lot of fun. But I think we both agree that this season needed a couple more episodes.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
I still think we should have done the once and always thing where like if you're gonna just give them 10 episodes, make them like 45 minutes apiece. They have so much story to get through anyway, and we clearly rushed through a whole lot of that last arc.
Like well, the thing is that like with it being on Netflix and like them having to do so much of this stuff as original footage, like I think budgetarily they weren't willing to put as much into this, which is why the episodes are a lot shorter than they probably realistically should be.
It's the standard allotted Power Rangers time. I think that's
for sure.
But like, and I know this was
well, no, it's a little bit longer because I think it's like 25 minutes instead of 22.
Yeah, no ads.
And they don't have to worry about and then they don't have to worry about commercials as much. So like you can just go. I don't think there was like any kind of commercial breaks in the show at all.
No, we just go. And man, we hit the ground running with this show right up until we get to the end. It's kind of like how I felt about the Godzilla anime, where like the build was so good, and then right at the end we didn't know what to do.
Well, they did write themselves into a corner, I think, because like Zed has been like shown to be this like big epic threat and like that you don't mess with, and to write it in a way to where he gains like ultimate power, like you have to be able to get him out of the equation. It sucks that like for the second time or maybe the third, I don't know who's keeping track of these at this point, but that the Rangers are bailed out of nearly dying by a random force because Bajilia decides that she's going to trap Zed in the machine that had the Morphin Masters, right?
Right.
And it's going to act like as a conduit that she's going to break, and it's going to cause the Z wave, which is like the Z wave from Countdown to Destruction.
Yeah.
But instead of eradicating all evil, it's going to eradicate all good.
Yeah. Which is, I get that absolutely. I mean, to a degree, right? Like, I think.
Well, Yeah, the thing that I was interested about that is because like Bajilia's whole thing is like we're gonna start an intergalactic war and then I can profit off of the war.
Right.
But if there's not any good guys, then there like would there be a war? I just don't think that would be the case. And
I
so
mean,
her motivation to suddenly be like we're gonna totally rip off Countdown to Destruction because it's a thing that fans really like. And so I just thought that it was really kind of on the nose.
considering that almost every season has a like general that betrays the main villain, I think it's a solid motivation that there would
That's
be a
actually
war.
that's a solid point actually, because like there is like even within the villain camps there is a lot of like machinations and betrayal and things like that. So yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
So
Um,
I don't
but
hate her
yeah,
motivation. I don't even hate her character, and her and Squilia, like they
yeah,
get some really good comedy moments, and
yeah.
they're
The
weirdly
Squilia
powerful.
thing.
I don't understand that. I don't know why they're such a formidable threat to the Rangers. Um,
Would you call them a threat?
yeah, she
Okay,
Squilia captures Heckle,
it's a good point. I didn't think about that.
and then when Bajilia comes down and tries to rescue Squilia after she gets captured by the Rangers, she beats him down. Again, we don't really have time to make it a big thing, so like they just kind of get rid of her immediately. But
Yeah,
if this was like a full season, we would have gotten more of that, I think.
sure,
I
sure, for
also
sure. Like it's because those characters are clearly like from the Sentai. So yeah,
right, and I really really dig her whole involvement in the show Bajilia, because like the squid drills are awesome. Not only
hmm
are they these huge, I get we did it in Steven Universe, but it's not important. They're these huge drills that they're used for mining, but they can also make an infinite amount of foot soldiers for the villains and turn into a Megazord-ish kind of machine. Squid Drill battle mode. It's awesome.
yeah, yeah. That is interesting. Especially like what happens later with like the Dragon Zord. They're like, we just want to get a Zord for ourselves.
Yeah,
Like they already have basically that anyway.
yeah,
Like
and they
to the
get a
point
ton.
where all he's like involved in the fight sequences in the big like when he's piloting one of the squid drills, like that just happens all the time on the show.
Yeah, yeah. Ah, it's very cool. And I do think Ryan Carter was kind of wasted.
I agree with that. It was more or less just a fan service moment.
Exactly,
Like
but again,
him morphing into the Dark Ranger and then going into his whole backstory because it is so kind of like out of place and out of pocket. Like it doesn't really lead to anything, and the only reason that it's there is so that people can be like, "Yay, he finally did it."
yeah,
But
yeah,
that goes to your point of like this is for people that were fans of that show, you know?
exactly, exactly. People who have been watching Power Rangers for a long time.
Yeah, because that was like what 8 years at that point, like,
Yeah, almost a decade.
or I guess you could say 7 because Heckle wasn't introduced until like midway through first season, or
Oh
like near
yeah,
the end of first season
I
of
was gonna
Dino
say
Charge.
he wasn't introduced until the first episode of Supercharge. Like he's just behind the
Well, no,
door when they
that's
talk
when
about.
he count that. That's when Snide comes in, but like Heckle as a character, like he was used in like an episode before then to try and trick the Rangers into giving him the purple energem.
Was he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
Like when they do that whole fake danger simulation thing, like Heckle is one of the guys that shows up,
I
and
said.
like it does create a really good moment because when Sledge gets the purple energem, like he immediately just shoots Heckle through back into his cell, and
Oh,
that's the
okay.
last we see of that guy until the ship crashes to set
I
up
haven't
season 2.
I haven't seen Dino Charge in a long time. should probably rewatch that show. It's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good show.
Yeah, this is better. Absolutely.
I will say that this did a lot more with a lot more characters, which is nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say, even I would say Izzy gets better as the show progresses because what what you were saying, like we have so much stuff to do, like the her whole relationship with Fern, especially in episode 2 when she hasn't told her that we went to space, we couldn't beat Zed, Zato's dead, Javi's lost his arm, like
Yeah, Zed's on his way here. We're all kind of screwed.
yeah. The fact that she keeps Fern in the dark for that whole thing, like that would have been one episode, but it's just a side mission for what we're doing
Yeah, for
in the show,
everything else that
and
happens.
exactly how it should be. Like
Yeah, for
not
sure.
not that it's not important, it's just not the main focus. But I still think she should have been the baby, especially given that in her Fern's entire involvement in the show, in Cosmic Fury specifically, because they have these really like deep, meaningful moments.
Yeah, they do. Still don't kiss, but yeah, they
Well,
have a lot of meaningful
yes,
moments.
they do 3 times. It's
Really?
like on the cheek and on the forehead, but still, it's something that we couldn't do in Dino Fury for whatever
That's a
reason.
fair point. Well, I mean, again, they're just against kissing overall on
Well,
television for some reason.
Amelia and Ollie get one at the end of Dino Fury season 2.
They do? Okay.
Yes, he kisses him on the cheek, but still,
Oh, okay.
it happens. And that kind of drives the point home, like, oh, we can't have the lesbians be the main focus because, whoa.
I mean, they do a lot of really good stuff with them. I think having
Oh, yeah.
Fern join the team and becoming like our first official Orange Ranger was a pretty good call.
Yeah.
Um, and
After
I
Mick
do like,
died, I would have really loved to have that interaction, though, with Mick and Fern.
yeah, I would have loved that too. That he at least has like one throwaway line. Like I've always liked Orange.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Ah,
but yeah, she bonds with Solon, and that's where her dinosaur spirit comes from.
yeah. I can't remember. Allosaurus is what it was.
Yes,
Yeah,
Allosaurus.
it's very cool. And we talked about it last week how Purple Rangers, they're very few and far between, but like the fact that we only have one canonically important Orange
Orange
Ranger
Ranger. Yeah.
and that she's a female, I think that whole thing was handled really well. It's very cool.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I
Um,
really like the show.
yeah, no, it is a really good show. Part of the reason is that like there's so much going on, and the show has a lot of to focus on, so it can't really do a lot of like the dumb stuff that Dino Fury was so like there was just so heavy on like a lot of the like there's not as many like awkward back and forth moments, because
Yeah,
that was just a lot in Dino Fury where they would just kind of stop in the middle of everything because they couldn't talk in the suits. Like it was so bad whenever they spoke or did the quips or anything like that they would have to like literally stop and explain things.
yeah, yeah,
That doesn't happen as frequently in this show because they just have so much else to do.
right. And
And that is kind of like what like when they do have like dialogue moments, like those things matter a heck of a lot more than they
yes,
used to. Which is
absolutely.
not that's where you get scenes with like Amelia talking to the rest of the team, or Billy's talking to Javi after he lost his arm and how much he's going to try to help him, or like when the big scene with Zed and Ollie, like all of their interactions and him kind of molding him into being this evil bad guy. Like I just wanted more of that stuff,
Yeah,
and I understand why they didn't do it. I do think that we did get kind of shortchanged whenever Ollie rejoins the team and he officially morphs into Cosmic Fury Blue. Like that was kind of like there's a lot of stuff in this show that I could nitpick, but like overall, it was a pretty like rock solid experience. Like this is what I had always envisioned the show to be when Saban got it back. Like this is taking a lot of notes from like what Ninjago did, because Ninjago, they always kept it within the wheelhouse of like, let's do 10 episodes, let's do 8 episodes, let's keep it at 10, a solid, like this is the story, this is how we're going to space it out.
Yeah.
Like that stuff was like secondhand for them. So like I always knew that Power Rangers had that potential.
Yes.
And to finally see it come to kind of fruition, even if like this is probably the only one of those we're going to get, just depending on like what happens in the Disney Plus show. Because like I know that Netflix really wanted to keep this show and they wanted to do a lot with it, but Hasbro wasn't on board with like their direction, so that's why they ultimately parted ways, and we only have this show and Once and Always.
Yeah.
As far as like what was Netflix produced.
Yeah. Yeah. And I really like Once and Always. It's a great show.
Once and Always is good. It is a pretty great special for sure.
I've definitely seen it like 5 or 6 times.
Nice. That is more times than I've seen it. I've seen it like 3. So
it's awesome.
It is a really good one. I am happy that we finally got to see. Is that the first time that's happened? Actually, now that I think about it, because we finally got to see somebody morph outside of the sequence when it comes to MMPR. I mean, I guess you could say that Rocky did it in the Dimensions in Danger crossover when everybody was there morphing.
Yeah.
So maybe he was the first, but like
I
appreciated seeing Billy do it.
I know Adam morphed without the sequence at least one time. I remember that. I want to say, I can't remember if it was in Space, that episode he had with Carlos, or if it was...
well, he does the motions that they don't usually do, which is nice, but like he does, like they do have like him doing this whole sequence. It's a new sequence too. They like filmed the whole thing. They just had the same backdrop.
I don't remember.
I do appreciate that like every time he comes back, it's a different thing.
Yeah.
I am curious as to why they didn't use the Once a Ranger MMPR morph as a template, because nobody else morphs like that.
Yeah.
When it comes to the Dino Ranger, when it comes to the MMPR team.
That's true, because like the Zeomorph is overly complicated.
I wouldn't say that. One thing that I will complain about the they have to charge it up because it's in their bodies or whatever. They don't explain it, but like that's usually what it looks like. They got to do like they got to twist the wrist to form the morpher because they got to charge it up. You know.
Yeah. Shifted a turbo, but that's the thing. Like Tiny Morphin, I think is a perfect morph sequence. And
yes.
Dino Furies is so freaking long, and even the
Dino Furies long,
so stupid long.
Yeah, I would have appreciated it if they had like, because they do the marble thing, and I do think that it's cool to do to spin them on the finger. I would have liked it more if they'd utilized more of that in battle. It really does bother me that like every time that it lands in the morpher that they're just stationary.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's just too many. I would rather them just stand there than do like the Dino Charge full morph.
Yeah.
Where they like spin.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Because that is a ridiculous morph sequence. It probably is the goofiest morph sequence out of all of them, but like you really feel how stupid long the Cosmic Fury and Dino Fury morphs are when Billy is there and he's done.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Heckles is also pretty short.
That is true. Yeah, that is super fair. But he doesn't have like the. Again, we didn't have time with it.
It probably wasn't in the budget to film like a sequence for him.
Yeah.
He does look good in the suit. And I will say Ryan Carter's Ranger voice.
Oh yeah, it's
Very
solid.
nice. Very nice.
Very
Yeah.
good.
For the
Well,
one episode that he's there in suit, it's really pretty good.
I think that guy it was definitely a Power Rangers fan. Like the fact that he never got to morph in Dino Charge, this was I think this was very exciting for him. I think he was super stoked to be there because and that's the thing about Cosmic Fury is everybody feels like they want to be there.
That's true. Yeah.
I won't say that Dino Fury didn't feel like that because nobody's phoning it in the same way that like Ninja Steel did.
Yeah, that's true. That's
The
true.
writing is just not good.
Yeah, that's fair.
In Dino Fury, but Cosmic Fury takes it and shifts into Turbo. See what I did there?
Yeah, I see.
It's a great show.
Is that everything that we wanted to bring up, or did you want to talk a little bit more about the ending?
Yeah.
Because we didn't get into it too heavily, but yeah, I do think that like they wrote themselves into a corner, and so like instead of beating Zed, the Rangers have to convince him to give up ultimate power, otherwise he'll die along with everybody else.
Yeah.
That's where the idea of like survival being the most important comes in. I do think that it's weird to have an episode where Zed is talked down,
Yeah. See, that's what I was going to say because this show doesn't really do anything to remedy the fact that the Dino Fury Rangers are the worst or the weakest Ranger team of all time.
Yeah, I think even Zed says it.
Before we get to the finale, like when the Rangers are captured and they're all unmorphed and they're about to be executed or turned evil, I'm not really sure what the Zed wave was supposed to do to them.
It was going to kill them.
Okay.
The idea is that they're going to poof into dust like how everybody else did.
Nope, but not
during the Zed wave. No, I know. Like Zed and Rita were the only ones that like survived that whole thing, which is how we got Zed back here in the first place. But like, the idea is that like they're going to poof out of existence.
Right.
Like that is worst case scenario,
But when that moment happens, like Mucus and Slither are the ones who have to rescue them, which I'm so happy that those guys came back.
Yeah.
It's
one of the stronger. It's one of the stronger comedy duos that we've had in a while, to be honest.
Absolutely. And Jane and Jayborg are there. They don't do a whole lot. Like they're really meant for exposition a lot of the time because all of a sudden they are a news station.
Yeah.
It's like I was saying last week, man. Like Buzz Blast is supposed to be BuzzFeed, so like they don't just do news coverage. They do like look at this lip balm or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. We're going to show you this exercise routine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird, but like the fact that Mucus and Slither have to save them and then they can't actually beat Zed. They need him to willingly give up his ultimate power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is weird like when you look at it like they didn't really do anything. It is the opposite of like the Megaforce thing because I do think that like this show is a lot like Megaforce in the fact that like they were just kind of burning through as much Sentai footage as possible. But like that, like for that show, for those Rangers, like a lot of people complain that like they're too powerful and whatever. That's not really the case with Dino Fury because like we never, Cosmic Fury because we never like really had them like do big power ups. They get new powers, but it doesn't really like it doesn't help them in the ultimate goal. It's not like Ion like came out with a battleizer and is now finally ready to beat Zed. Like that just doesn't happen.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah.
We once we get the cosmic powers like that is meant to only get them back into the fight.
Right, yeah.
They're not necessarily
it doesn't really
win.
Exactly. It's not like the Zeo thing where they're like stronger than before. It's just kind of like, okay, well now we can protect people.
Right. That's a good point. But I kind of see where they were coming from. It's just it's very anticlimactic the way that show ends.
Yeah.
because they just leave Zed on this planet, which they should already know that doesn't work.
Well, I think the idea is that they want to leave him in a place of like where he's kind of subdued. I will say, should he ever figure out that it's an illusion, he's going to murder like everybody. So like,
Yeah.
I think that Zed, more than anybody, he hates being tricked more than anything else. Like, I mean, it still wasn't enough for him to kill Ollie, but I mean, at least he was, going to chain him up. So
it's also not enough for him to kill Rita either. But
that is true. But I think that like the show has like a weird thing with like how they perceive what's happening in that final scene.
Yeah,
because like they're like Zed's living his worst nightmare, which includes killing the Rangers and spending time with his wife.
Yeah, and
who he says in the scene he loves.
Right.
So like either the Rangers don't know what's going on or the writers don't, and it's hard for me to believe that the writers don't, just based on everything else.
I do kind of see it as a writing issue, but I also think it's a time constraint thing.
Maybe.
Because again, we could have used at least 2 more episodes of this show to wrap everything up nicely. Because I thought the breaking out of the prison, which I got to talk about that really quickly. Once they break their parents out of the prison, Camp Counselor Garcia is like, "What happened to your arm?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, it'll be fine. Yeah, we got to go rescue the rest of the people." And they're like, "Okay, be safe." It's like, you guys are taking that surprisingly well.
Yeah, well, we just went through a big alien invasion. Like, you really should be talking to people about this whole thing. Right.
And
or at least having them go with you.
Amelia revealed her identity. Ollie revealed his identity.
That's a good point. Like, that would have been the moment to do it for the Garcias.
Exactly. And I do think Izzy and Javier are probably the best characters in the show. I think Ion is a really close third.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Amelia. And then Zato just by default. As far as the Ranger,
he's there. He's there. He gets to become a Morphin Master, which confuses the other Morphin Masters for some reason.
Yeah. But again, they're just flawed as a concept, and they're almost completely useless.
That is true. Also,
that's why they wrote them out of this show, is because we don't need them. Like, the Morphin Grid is a thing.
Yeah. I really think that like whatever they were like, because I think the idea of the Morphin Masters was really to just kind of give credibility to the Dino Fury team. These are the first Rangers, so you should care about them because they're the first Rangers. Right. But outside of that, you really don't need those guys ever again. Really,
especially with the way
it does interfere with like a lot of other canon stuff, and it's very annoying.
Yeah. Especially with the way Dino Fury opens, like that first episode is painful. If you had told me true. If you had told me that these guys were going to fight Zed at the beginning of season 1, episode 1, I'd have been like, those guys are going to die. Which is another thing. Like, the show doesn't shy away from like death or affection. Or, the things that Nickelodeon is scared to do or was scared to do when they had the show. So I think Cosmic Fury, I think we actually ranked that perfectly, where Dino Fury, I think we rated way too high on the rewatch. Cosmic Fury, I think we rated perfectly on the rewatch.
Yeah, it just does everything better. And while it's not perfect, it is like the best anniversary season that we've had in a minute.
Oh, yeah. So. Oh yeah, and again, this show is written for us. The fans that have been around since the beginning, who know the lore, who know these characters, and know what they're capable of. And I don't think anybody's really out of character who shows up.
Yeah, that's true.
I think they're all very true to form, except for the ending. Again, like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, the ending is really weird. That's where you kind of lose points with me, because I just don't understand it. Like, what in like I realized that like MMPR, they were a bickering married couple,
right?
But like he did everything she asked him to do.
Mm-hmm.
There was a certain level of devotion there, and like they both seemed content. Like the last time we saw them together, you
Yeah, and
know,
I mean, we talked
when during the Turbo movie when they talked to Diva Talks, and she's like, "If I knew how to beat the Power Rangers, do you think I'd be here sleeping next to my husband, listening to him snore? Really?"
Yeah. See, that's what makes it confusing for me. That's why I don't know if the writers really understand their dynamic or if it was just all right, let's wrap this up kind of thing.
Yeah, it's possible that they like gave too much credence to the whole he was under a love spell, so his affection is not real. I have a fan theory, and this is just what I think about. But like with Zed's whole thing about like survival being the most important and him wanting to gain ultimate power, I do legitimately think, like with the theory that's out there that Rita was the Mystic Mother and she died, like I do think that that affected Zed in some type of way to where he's like, okay, screw everybody, I'm gonna get the strongest that I can because it's important. Survival is the most important. She died because she was good and sacrificed herself to save these people. I'm not gonna do that because screw everybody else.
Oh, okay. So you think he found out what happened to her?
I think there is something to that. Like he at least felt it or knew something happened. Because that's the only thing that I can think of as to why how he broke out of the whole weird human form that he was in. Because he's
Yeah,
much bigger when he's reintroduced into the show.
yeah. He's like jacked.
Yeah,
It's
spending
crazy.
time at the gym since the divorce is crazy.
Yeah, yeah, and just beating monsters to death with his bare hands.
Yeah,
It's awesome. I think, and I think the voice and the characterization for Zed up until that point is really, really good. I even like
yeah,
the Super Zed design. It's crazy, or the
yeah,
Master Zed design. That's what they call him because he goes from Lord Zed to
yeah,
Master Zed, and that is awesome. I
yeah. It's
really
pretty
dig it.
good.
I like the show a lot.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's very. He's a very good show. Very good show. But is there anything else you wanted to say before we get into the Ranger Rumble?
um, I think that's it. I mean, to answer the question, Izzy is the best character on the show, but that's been true since
Yeah,
her introduction.
yeah, yeah. She's been the strongest, the thing that everybody cares most about. Um, and like she just has is able. She has the ability to like have really good scenes with other characters, which is nice.
Yeah, I
It's
will
not
say
always consistent,
I
but
don't understand why Zed doesn't try to kill Squillia, but that's fine. He
it's
kept
probably a
sliding that
deal
rope.
that it's probably a deal that he made with Vigilia. Like he's not gonna kill her. They're helping him. He like clearly doesn't care about what she's talking about or anything. I think that's part of the reason that the comedy works really well with her, because like he's just there to make sure this all goes smoothly.
Yeah.
He doesn't really care what she's talking about, what she wants to do. He's only like hyper focused on like we're gonna conquer the earth because it's taken way too long for me to get this done. So
Well, let us know what your thoughts are on Cosmic Fury because I really like this show.
yes, leave us comments,
It's a
questions, comments, concerns.
thousand times better than Dino Fury.
Anyway, let's get to the Ranger
The
Rumble
Red
here.
Ranger Rumble. For those of you who don't know, we're
Okay.
going to spin a wheel. It's going to give us two numbers that correlate with two different Rangers. We're going to have them face off against each other to see who wins.
So this is fun. Our first roll was number 23, which
Oh,
corresponds to Psycho Red.
whoa! Evil Ranger.
Yeah.
It's the first time that's happened.
Yeah. It's because we were talking about Ollie. It's fine. And rolling again. Get 41.
All right.
And that corresponds on the list to Alex Drake from Power Rangers Time Force.
Oh, wow. Ooh.
Original Time Force Red. So we have the Battle of the Red Rangers.
Ooh.
Psycho Red taking on Alex, who was murdered.
in episode 1.
Yeah.
Wow. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Do the psychos do? I haven't seen Space in a while, but like, do the psychos do the, the 5 fingers of poison thing where they're like, I don't need you guys. I'm gonna go beat the Rangers myself.
Yes. Yes, they do.
Okay. That being the case, the fact that Alex dies in episode 1, the only
Yeah.
reason he comes back is because time travel science.
It's important to know that, like, when it's a one-on-one, the psychos are really tough to beat.
Oh yeah, they're crazy powerful.
Like the only reason they lost during the to the 10th power is because it's 2 Rangers of their corresponding color fighting them at the same time. Like when it's an actual like one-on-one, they're strong enough to like kill people. The only reason that they don't is because Astronema pulls them back.
Yeah, I mean they will themselves back to life.
Yeah.
I think Alex might take the L on this one.
Yeah, he might have to die again, bro. Like, I'm sorry.
Oh, whoa.
That's just how that goes. I think it would have been more of a conversation if it wasn't a Red Ranger. The fact that it is another Red Ranger, like that's
yeah. Like if it was Psycho Blue or Black, I think Alex might have a chance.
Yeah.
Dude.
If it's a red on red and it's Psycho Red who's like proficient, like his goal is to kill Red Rangers.
Right. That's what he lives for.
Yeah. So like
no.
I don't see Alex getting out of this. I'm sorry.
I don't think
it's
so.
Just yeah.
No. That's not good.
Yeah. That was fun. I liked that one.
That's crazy. I would pay to see that, but absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much of a fight it would be. Probably would be a public execution, but we'll see.
I do think that even Wes would probably stand more of a chance against Psycho Red than Alex would. But
yeah, I agree with that actually.
It's the difference between like experience and heart, between Alex and Wes. So like, the winner for this one, I think we're both in agreement, is going to be Psycho Red.
It's Psycho Red, yeah.
Oh, wow. Huh. Who do you think would win in that fight? Leave us a comment and let us know. And be sure to join us next week when we talk about something else.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Well, actually, we have a couple of ideas. Yeah. I do really want to talk about the Sentai anime that came out fairly recently. We just got to give that a shot, and we might do that later down the line. Just kind of depends. So, but we'll see.
That'll be next week. I'm Ice Chip Andy.
And I'm Nick, aka Ironbat 1993. May the power chamber protect you.
Cosmic Fury is so good.
It is.